wish that I could just wish away my feelings, but I can't.
Sand hurts my feelings.
I don't like sand, sand,
Hurts my
sand.
feelings.
Haunted by thick sand in my very soul. Sand, sand. Are you suffering as much as I am?
Sand
I
hurts
can't
my
breathe.
feelings. Sand,
Tormenting me. I'm in agony. Sand,
hurts my
sand.
feelings.
I don't like sand.
Hello, and welcome to The Sand Hurts My Feelings, a Star Wars podcast from a Swiftie point of view. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm your other host, Sarah.
And happy 1 year anniversary.
I can't believe it's both already been a year and only been a year.
Yeah, today we are celebrating our 1 year extravaganza and our 1 year anniversary with our wonderful discussion about Andor and Taylor Swift.
Yes, as a bonus episode to celebrate both our 1 year anniversary as a podcast and how amazing of a series Andor was, we've picked 5 characters from Andor Season 2 and are picking a song for them from Taylor Swift's discography. So, before we dive into that, Alex, how's this past year been for you on this podcasting journey?
It's been really interesting. It's been very different. This is the third podcast I've had, so I have some kind of podcasting experience. But to me, I think this is one of the most interesting because it's a very genuinely back and forth. We have our Feeling the Force, which I also really enjoy, but on a different philosophical level, versus this one I feel we are able to communicate with our fans a lot more. We're able to communicate with other people a lot more, and it's just a lot of fun. It's not as analytical. It's kind of just like, hey, I love Star Wars and I love Taylor Swift, and so I get to talk about it. And this podcast has helped us, or at least helped me, branch out. So we've been on 2 different cons. We've done Twin Cities Con and Des Moines Con, and that was we took that risk, and we didn't think we'd get it, but we got both of them. So that was really, really fun, just having that experience, and we're going to keep trying those. So we'll try out for Des Moines Con and Twin Cities Con again, 25 and 26. So It's just been a lot of fun, a lot of different experiences that I didn't think we'd have, and so I'm excited for us to continue growing. I love listening to people and hearing other people's thoughts on songs. Shout out to Kleya, who's really great at letting us know what she thinks and sending us Instagram reels of different videos that she's seen and whole emails about what she thinks different characters belong and stuff like that. So shout out to her, who we met at Twin Cities Con, actually. So we are just having a blast, enjoying the ride, and it's a lot of fun just talking about it because we're kind of a small podcast at the moment, and it's okay if we stay that way because it's just a lot of fun talking about these things, because that's the hardest part for us, I think, is we have most of our seasons planned out and most of the things, and so then we're like, I'm ready to talk about it. And we're like, no, you can't talk about it unless we're recording. Yeah. So that's where it's like, oh, I want to talk about this song, and you're like, nope, can't do that. Got to hold it in. I don't know about you. How about you? How has this year gone for you?
This has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad that we decided to go on this journey together and to share it as a podcast with other people, because we could have these conversations on our own. But I've really enjoyed hearing other people's thoughts on the songs, because again, we all come at Star Wars from different perspectives, and we all come at Taylor Swift from different perspectives. I've also really loved the reactions when we tell people that we have a Star Wars Taylor Swift podcast, because they're just like, how does that intersect? How does that work? And we're like, oh, just buckle up. It works. Taylor's music is universal, and Star Wars is a story. It's like all great storytelling. So I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, and like not getting ahead of ourselves, I think, has been the difficult part. Because I just want to talk both in our seasons, in our regular episodes, I want to just go ahead and tell you what my pick is for the next album. But then, as you were mentioning, we have ideas, or we know which characters we want to talk about in future seasons. And I'm like, man, I really want to share this thought I had for Jin or for Ahsoka. And it's like, we gotta
hold it in.
Hold it in. But this has been really, really fun.
Yeah. So thank you for going on this journey with me, and thank you everyone else for coming along with us.
Yes, this has been so much fun. So please, share the word about us. Keep listening. We hope this is the first of many years to come of The Sand Hurts My Feelings.
Yeah. We're excited about Star Wars, and
yeah, we're getting new Star Wars.
We're getting
too.
New Star Wars, new Taylor. Like, that's the thing, is I think we're always going to have stuff to talk about, and so it's so cool, and I think it's so important that we are a positive Star Wars and even Taylor podcast out there of like, we enjoy Star Wars, and if you everybody should enjoy Star Wars. It is absolutely, to me, I only hope that this can help show barriers can be crossed and walls can be struck down with the gatekeeping and stuff like that, because there's so many people out there who are, well, Taylor Swift is a girl thing and Star Wars is a boy thing.
It's not true.
It's not true at all. No. It's absolutely not true at all, because like Sarah and I both found Star Wars separately, which is awesome, and then I actually found Taylor Swift first. So I found it, and I made you I converted you into a Swiftie.
Yes.
And so it's that shocks a lot of people whenever we share of like, oh, we have this Taylor Swift podcast where I'm like, how did you get Alex to start listening? And I'm like, no, I converted her.
Yeah.
I got her in. And so there's so much negativity in Star Wars right now. It's frustrating. It's part of the times, unfortunately. And I think it's gonna line up nicely with our show on Andor today, because Andor is kind of a big example of certain things in the fandom of like, there's certain people who agree that Andor is fantastic and that this is the only good thing of Disney, and like, that's just wrong. Like, if you don't like something, it doesn't mean it's not good. Like, it's just not for you.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're trying to put forward, is that like, everybody can like different things, and it's why to me it's frustrating with the louder voices out there, is that like, this isn't my Star Wars. I'm like, great, it's not your Star Wars. There's so much out there to pick from now. Like, pick what you like and ignore the rest, if that's what you want to do. You don't have. It's a frustration to me that anger sells more than positivity and happiness.
Yeah.
So that's where. That's just. I just wanted to get that piece out there.
There. Yeah. We are a positivity podcast.
So yeah, anytime we do have a criticism here, just want to bring that of like, because I critique George quite a bit, but like we say this all in good faith. If you still enjoy or like anything that we don't like, we are only saying this in our personal opinions. We are not taking anything against anyone who likes certain things, because I know there's lots of things. Like, Sarah likes Clone Wars. I'm not a huge fan of Clone Wars. I don't hate her for that. There's a lot of people who like Rise of Skywalker. That's not our jam, but like, there's a lot of people who don't like The Last Jedi, and we love The Last Jedi. So like, it's take whatever you want. Don't yuck other people's yum.
Exactly.
All right, do we want to get started?
I think so, because we're going to be covering 5 characters in this episode. So with this, we are opening it up to all of Taylor's discography for our 5 characters that we've picked. So that could be songs from her albums, or songs that she's done in collaborations with other people, or songs for other movies, which we don't do in our regular series. And then we've also opened it up, so if we've used a song already, say for Leia or Padme, we can use it here for this character too. It's kind of a clean slate, if you will.
Correct.
But we're not repeating songs for any of the 5 characters, like within what we picked.
Correct. And I believe I have put forth on myself, so Sarah's, I don't believe with this, but I am putting forth on myself, whenever we do bonuses, I am attempting to not repeat any time with a bonus. So.
Yeah.
I have agreed to that. Sarah has not, and that's totally cool.
Yeah, I don't think I did, but yeah, that's a little thing that Alex wants to do. It's like, I don't want to limit myself.
Sure, no.
Okay, so the 5 characters we've selected to take a look at, in no particular order, are obviously Cassian Andor himself, Bix, Luthen, Kleya and Mon Mothma, kind of our heroes of the rebellion.
Right, and this is not to say that we won't do a season on any of these characters. We might do a season on Bix or Mon Mothma or Kleya, but this is just kind of our first reactions to them and who we view them in Andor, just Andor.
Correct.
With those pieces. And then I will say none of our songs that we pick here are locked in for if we do choose do a season with them, we can pick other songs off different albums. So I just wanted to put that out there. We're not locked in of if I choose a song from TTPD, I don't have to use the same song if I pick a different one down the line.
Yeah. So do you have a character you'd like to start with, Alex?
I do not. I just have them in a order. So like I would just have to shift around to find if we go not in the order that it's on my sheet, and that's okay. So I just have Andor first.
Well, I think that's a great place to start because after all, this is his show. Like the show is named Andor. Yep. So let's start with Cassian Andor.
All right. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
Why don't you start on this one?
Okay. So I have picked the second song that Taylor Swift wrote for Hunger Games. I chose Safe and Sound.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I chose Safe and Sound for Andor. And this is encapsulating the whole seasons, both seasons, not just season 2. But for me, Andor is desperate to save everyone he comes close to because he left his sister behind. And so when he left his sister behind in the first season, he feels that pain, that regret, and is constantly trying to save and it happens to be mostly women in his life, but he also goes back for Luthen, not realizing that Luthen has passed in season 2, but he is desperate to save everyone that he cares about because of her and the fact that he wasn't able to save his sister. Starts off with, I remember tears streaming down your face when I said I'll never let you go, when all those shadows almost killed your light. I remember you said, don't leave me here alone, but all that's dead and gone and past tonight. So Andor told his sister that he would be back, that everything would be all right. That turned out not to be the case, and he was taken from Kenari. And we later learned that there was a mining disaster that left the planet toxic and quarantined. Cassian holds out hope that his sister survived and that he can go back and save her. And then continuing on, just close your eyes. The sun is going down. You'll be all right. No one can hurt you now. Come morning light, you and I will be safe and sound. So Cassian is trying to protect all those around him. They are in the night of the Empire, but he is fighting for the dawn. When the Empire falls, a new morning will shine, and everyone will be safe and sound. And then continuing, don't you dare look out your window. Darling, everything's on fire. The war outside our door keeps raging on. Hold on to this lullaby, even when the music's gone. The Empire is destroying the galaxy. Anyone who looks out can see it is on fire. Bix, Brasso, Marva, Clem, Kino Loy, Kleya, Luthen, Jin, his sister. Cassian wants to save them all. He wants a better galaxy than what they are living in. Hope is their lullaby. He will do anything to keep hope alive, and it is what drives him to make the choices he does.
Very nice. To me, that is a surprising pick because that is the tone of the song is so slow and it's almost like a lullaby.
It is a lullaby. Yeah, it talks about being a lullaby. Yeah.
Yeah. That surprises me for Cassian. But I think like your reasonings, it makes sense too.
What do you mean what you have a tone? Obviously you have a song, so you have a tone. You think it's not lullaby-ish? You think he's more action, more rock? Or what do you think?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think so.
Okay.
So my pick for Cassian is from Reputation. I picked Endgame. So Cassian has a big reputation, And I think this song fits both for his relationship with Luthen and the Rebellion and with his relationship with Bix.
Interesting. So I would say we are now in the same situation where you don't see Cassian as a lullaby. I don't see this song for him. So I'm intrigued. Please explain.
Yeah. So going through the lyrics, I want to be your end game. I want to be your first string. I want to be your A-team. I want to be your end game. So Cassian wants to be Bix's end game and to live a life with her, but he also wants to be part of the Rebellion's A-team. So, I mean, those two are in conflict with each other in Season 2, but he wants both. So then we go, big reputation. Both you and me, we got big reputations. You heard about me. I got some big enemies. You and me would be a big conversation. I heard about you. So Cassian has a big reputation, both in the Rebellion and in the Empire, with Syril and Dedra obsessing over him. And the Empire is Cassian's big enemy. And Cassian's a little bit of a bad boy. He has kind of that rogue vibe to him.
Sure.
So then I'm going to kind of break
Rogue One.
So then we have the 3 different verses sung by the 3 different artists. So for Future's verse, the rap part, I feel that's mainly about Cassian's relationship with the Rebellion, except for the very first line, so I'll take it with a grain of salt. So Future sings, "You so dope, don't overdose." That's Cassian telling Bix to get off the drugs as she's struggling with her PTSD. Then we go, "I'm so stoked, I need a toast, we do the most." So this is in reference to the toast that Val and Cassian have to commemorate all of their fallen comrades. They've given everything for the Rebellion, and he has the burden of carrying on without his family and friends. Like in Hamilton, dying is easy, living is harder. Then it continues on, "I'm in the ghost like I'm whipping a boat." So to me, this is just funny, and I don't think, it's not true because we never see it on screen, but I'm like, Cassian could have been in the ghost. Hera could have given him a ride at some point. I think it's funny.
Okay.
"I'm one call away whenever you need me. I'm in a G5. Come to the A side. I got a bad boy persona. That's what they like. You love it. I love it too, 'cause you're my type. You hold me down and I protect you with my life." So Cassian comes at a moment's notice when Kleya puts out the distress signal. He thinks he's going to go save Luthen, but he still comes at the drop of a pin. He defies rebel orders in order to do so, and this is a repeated thing of defying rebel orders, to go save people, to be that, fall guy. While he's loyal to the cause, he does go rogue a bit to serve those he is most loyal to, or whatever better serves the endgame, not just the Rebellion politics. So then going to Ed Sheeran's verse, pretty much this is about him and Bix's relationship word for word. I don't really want to go through and say all of the lines. You can listen to it, but it's basically about like how we were kids together, we grew apart, but then we reconnected, and you see through all of my ups and my downs and my flaws, and you see that I've made mistakes, but we're still connected and you still have my back. So to me, that's a connection of Bix and Cassian's relationship.
Okay.
So then last but not least, we have Taylor's verse in Endgame. She says, "I bury hatchets, but I keep maps of where I put them." So to me, part of being a rebel is dirty work, and part of it is shifting alliances as events happened and people are betrayed or exposed. So Cassian has to bury emotions and grudges for the sake of the Rebellion, but he never forgets the losses that fuel him. He has to work with some people that he doesn't like in order to kind of, further the end game of the Rebellion, but he carries on. And then, "Reputation precedes me. They told you I'm crazy. I swear I don't love the drama. It loves me." So Cassian gets heightened in the Empire as a criminal thanks to the obsession of Dedra and Syril. And the drama line makes me think of Syril and Cassian's fight during the Gorman massacre, where Syril is like, you are the person I have been hunting for years, and Cassian's like, "I don't even know you. Who are you?"
Yep.
So Cassian didn't ask for any of this. And I mean, even going back to the escalation of like, he pushed, like some guards were harassing him. Like all of this started because 2 guards were like harassing him after the bar one night.
Correct.
And it's like he didn't want any of this, but here he is, and now he wants to be the end game.
And he's willing to finish it.
Yeah,
Because that's the piece of like he accidentally killed the one guard and that was an accident because they pushed it, but then he's like, well, I have to keep going and I have to kill this other one because there's no way I can get away. Like they're not gonna believe me and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Wow.
Alex's gears are turning.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so yeah, that sound like Owen Wilson there, but yeah, very interesting.
So it's two very different takes of Cassian.
See, I don't know if it is though.
No?
I think they're kind of the same. It's just different because especially the end game piece. I guess mine's just, again, and this is where I think we are so different and why I love this podcast, is that like you are very specific. And like you very specifically talk about relationships and stuff like that, versus I think I'm much more high level of he wants to save everyone, versus you're talking about he wants to save Bix, he wants to save Luthen, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it's so interesting, because I'm like, I think they're probably around the same kind of thing of like the world around us is falling apart, but I'm your end game. We will be safe and sound together.
Yeah.
So, no, well done.
Thank you. Do we want to go to Bix next?
Sure.
Because we've talked about her, and
I will say I think this is my weakest song.
Okay.
But I still like it. I still think I did it okay. But
would you like me to go first on this one?
Go for it.
So my pick for Bix is from Folklore, This Is Me Trying. I think this works both with her struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder from the torture that she experiences in season 1, and in leaving Andor, in leaving Cassian to try to do something good for the rebellion.
Okay.
So going through the lyrics, I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. So Bix is struggling to be herself after Ferrex and dealing with the fallout from her torture. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. So this is in reference to the talk that Luthen has with her on Coruscant in the safe house. She wasn't sure if he cared about her or not, and she regrets leaving the rebellion in the lurch as she tries to pick up the pieces of herself after the events on Ferrex. Continuing on, maybe I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. She doesn't know what to say to Cassian when she leaves him on Yavin. It's part of the reason she records the video versus having a conversation with him face to face. She's in the doorway of Cassian's life leaving, but she's trying to do what's right for the rebellion by taking away herself from the equation.
Because he's too important.
Yeah. Yes, because he's too important to the rebellion. They told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. So the torture she experienced on Ferrex was very much a mind game, and it's blocking her from doing more and moving on with her life. And she gets mad at Cassian when he confronts her about the drug use that she, just so she can get some sleep at night.
Right, and she's wasting, as you said, she's wasting her potential by using the drugs.
Yeah,
because even Luthen comes and tells her, you need to stop or you're not going to be helpful.
Right, because she was so helpful to the rebellion early on, and she, did so much. And, obviously she needs to recover, move on as she is able to from her post-traumatic stress and things like that. But it was going to a very bad place.
Yep.
I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind all my classmates, and I ended up here, pouring my heart out to a stranger, but I didn't pour the whiskey. She doesn't do as much for the rebellion in Season 2 as she did in Season 1, kind of a reference to falling behind her classmates, but she's not on drugs by the end of Season 2. Once they're out of that safe house on Coruscant, she steers clear of that, so she didn't pour the whiskey as they continue on. And then we hit the bridge. It's hard to be at a party when I feel like an opened wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback in a film reel on the one screen in my town. So to me, this is a reference to the harvest party we see at the end of the season, which is the end of the series. So Bix walks out into the field with her baby, and she wants to be with Andor, but she knows that she can't. And every day is a struggle to be without him, but because this is the person that she has known since childhood that she loves and has helped pull her out of the darkness, but she can't be with him because it is for the sake of the galaxy and the sake of the larger fight. So it's hard. It is very bittersweet for her. So Bix just wants you to know that this is her trying.
Wow, yeah. Very tough, but a good pick. I mean, mine's tough too, but the only thing I would push back on is I think she does just the same amount, or if not even more, in season 2 for the rebellion. I just think it might not be shown.
Sure.
And also, like, I think they put more emphasis on her recovery because to me, at the end of that Coruscant arc where she blows up the doctor and gets her revenge, that's kind of like, I'm back and I'm helping, and then we focus on Andor the rest of the way of like, she's good, and so then she's helping and doing stuff on Yavin 4. But
that's true.
So yeah, well, good pick.
What did you pick for Bix?
So my pick is I Hate It Here from TTPD. So this is just kind of Bix trying to recover from all of the trauma from season 1, and then even more so the trauma that happens in season 2 with her SA. And so this is kind of her trying to process through that. So I have quick, tell me something awful, like you are a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy. Tell me all your secrets. All you'll ever be is my eternal consolation prize. You see, I was a debutante in another life, but now I seem to be scared to go outside. If comfort is a construct, I don't believe in good luck, now that I know what's what. So this is Bix just trying to live her life and do her small part for the rebellion in season 1 by selling parts to Luthen. That is until Cassian brings down the Empire on Ferrix and changes her life forever. Because of the actions of the Empire and the horrific things they did to her, she can never truly be happy with Cassian. I think that is kind of the piece that we don't... she can never truly be happy with him because of she wants revenge. And that's kind of why she leaves, is because she cannot let the Empire win. And that's where she says, like, they cannot win. And I think while she does recover significantly from her PTSD, I think it's still with her, and that's why she makes. And so that's why she leaves, is because he says, like, nope, we're gonna run away, and she's like, no, like, it cannot stand. I cannot be in a galaxy where it still is.
Correct. Yeah.
So when we meet her in season 2, she is still scared of the torture that she received by Doctor on Ferrix and is scared to kind of go outside sometimes. And this even continues when an Imperial officer attempts to SA her. And then it goes, I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. People need a key to get to. The only one is mine. I read about it in a book when I was a precocious child. No mid-sized city hopes and small-town fears. I'm there most of the year because I hate it here. I hate it here. So this is the beginning of season 2, where she kind of hates her life and falls down the rabbit hole of drugs and trying to escape the memories. She goes to secret gardens in her mind to blot out the horrors of the Empire and her inability to fight back, because Andor is too desperate to keep her safe and will not let her go out and be part of any missions. And then I continue the chorus again. I hate it here, so I will go to lunar valleys in my mind. When they found a better planet, only the gentle survived. I dreamed about it in the dark, the night I felt like I might die. No mid-sized city hopes and small-town fears. I'm there most of the year because I hate it here. I hate it here. So she is trying to escape the past and escape what happened on Ferrix. She is looking for a better planet in her mind, but her reality keeps bringing her back down. She is only able to let go of the past when she convinces Cassian to allow her to help him, and she kills the doctor. Because if she keeps hidden in the Coruscant safe house, she will die, either by taking her own life or just through the drug use on accident in an overdose and stuff like that, as Luthen states, of like, as he said, or whether Luthen has to take her out, because he does mention that in that episode of like, if you become a liability, I will have to take action.
That too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so she's just like, yep, I'm going to die here if I don't get out and start helping. Continues, I'm lonely, but I'm good. I'm bitter, but I swear I'm fine. I'll save all my romanticism for my inner life, and I'll get lost on purpose. This place made me feel worthless. Lucid dreams like electricity, the current flies through me. And in my fantasies, I rise above it, and way up there, I actually love it. So when she is forced to leave Cassian because he is too important to the rebellion, she remains lonely without him. similar to what you were saying. She remains bitter at the Empire for forcing her to make this choice.
Yeah.
This is kind of her feelings of the Empire must fall, and so she remains bitter at it, but it is a necessary choice. She holds her romance and love inside for Cassian for when the war is over. She says, I will find you. And then she felt worthless on Coruscant and hopes the world would be a better place for her child. Her child is her fantasy of a happy life, and her son makes her love it. So even when she hates the state of the galaxy and wants it to change, she keeps hope that Cassian will succeed and that their son will grow up in a better galaxy.
Yeah, that's hopeful.
It's hopeful. It ends on a hopeful note, but yeah, Bix has an unfortunate life in Andor.
She does.
But it's important to show, because we often don't get those smaller people in the galaxy. We don't see how the Empire is affecting the smaller people. We see the big characters and how they're affected. As we say, like with Mon Mothma and stuff like that. And we can jump into her next or somebody else, but we see Skywalker and Mothma and all these bigger people, and I think Bix is such an important smaller scale of this is a regular person, and
right.
how the galaxy and Empire is affecting her.
Yeah, it's very true, because there's probably a million Bixes
right
out there. I mean, obviously more than that, but right.
In a galaxy is a billion.
In a galaxy,
yes. Our brains can't concept that.
No. Well, you mentioned Mon Mothma next. Do we jump to our senator?
Sure.
Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll go first this time.
Okay.
So this one was pretty simple for me. I knew this one kind of right off the bat. This is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Yeah.
And so it works a lot with the dance at her daughter's wedding of her world is falling apart around her and nobody notices. And this is another reason I really like this choice for song. I'll go into more detail, but I personally feel that this song is used by fans a lot more than it necessarily should, in that they're like, oh yeah, it's just a great song and it's a banger. And I'm like, yes, it is designed to be a banger, but it's also designed to be I know she still loves her fans, but it's designed to be a small little check of I did all of this with a broken heart and I shouldn't have to. So I just wanted to, and that's what Mon Mothma does, of she does all of this with a broken heart. I don't necessarily think it was a broken heart with her husband, but it's the loss of her daughter. She that in that dance scene, she's just yep, I've lost my daughter. I will not, and she never sees her again, really. Or she probably sees her again, but it's that kind of, we never see the character of her daughter again, because that's basically where the cut is. She goes off, lives with her husband, and then Mothma, a few episodes later, establishes that she's against the Empire, and that's, we know Tony and other people have said she does not see her again until at least minimum the end of the war. We don't know anything after that, but we know up until that point.
Well, and this also is it's the loss of her childhood friend. Was it Tay?
Yes. Well, that to me, I would agree. I think it's a little bit of that. Yeah, it's that she is. I don't know if it's necessarily the loss of him, but it's the complicity of that. She has to sign off. Of I don't know what you're talking about, and Luthen's I'm so glad for you. If you know what I'm talking about. You're just trying to remain blissfully ignorant. So anyway, I will start. So it starts off, I can read your mind. She's having the time of her life. There in her glittering prime, the lights refract sequin stars off her silhouette every night. I can show you lies. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Mon Mothma putting on a show for the Empire and her family. She is lying to the Empire. She is funding the rebellion and trying to bring down the Empire, but she is still pretending to be part of the Senate. And she's still part of the Senate, but she's still trying to pretend to be part of the legitimate government. And then it immediately jumps into, because I'm a real tough kid, I can handle my... They said, babe, you gotta fake it till you make it, and I did. Lights, camera, and smile, even when you want to die.
Yep.
She was faking being a part of the Empire since the fall of the Republic. Throughout the show, she becomes aware of the cost of her rebellion, because I think at the beginning she's still trying to fight the Empire from within, and it is in season 1 especially where she's funding Luthen, but not realizing what he's doing with the money, I think. And then with Aldhani, she's like, oh my gosh, like this is what we're doing, and keeps going with it, but she's having that crush, that question. Aldhani bringing attention to the fight instead of just remaining in the shadows, it puts her at greater risk, and she gets scared about it. Luckily, she keeps going, but that's what bravery is putting fear aside and continuing. She has to keep smiling as the walls close in around her to avoid suspicion. The Empire already suspects her and has spies inside her personal security.
Yep.
Her driver's an ISB agent, so she knows that. Continuing, breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more. I was grinning like I'm winning. I was hitting my marks, 'cause I can do it with a broken heart. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then into the chorus, I'm so depressed, I act like it's my birthday every day. I'm so obsessed with him, but he avoids me like the plague. I cry a lot, but I am so productive, it's an art. You know you're good when you can even do it with a broken heart. So at her daughter's wedding, everyone thinks she is having the time of her life, but in reality, it is crashing down around her. She has finally come to the realization of what she is giving up for the rebellion, and the only way for her to process that in public is to get drunk and dance.
Yep.
She played her part of a mother celebrating her daughter when she was processing the fact that she is condoning the assassination of a friend and the real cost of the rebellion. And we're still not done. We keep going. So I can hold my breath. I've been doing it since he left. I keep finding his things in drawers. Crucial evidence I didn't imagine the whole thing. I'm sure I can pass this test. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then Mon Mothma has been holding her breath ever since the Republic fell. She keeps meeting people and seeing things that remind her of when the Republic would have helped instead of the Empire, who actively hurts. She can pass the test of loyalty to the Empire while actively trying to dismantle it. And so she is actively trying to dismantle it, but she passes the tests and keeps passing the tests. And then last line that I talk about, there's like this whole song. I could read the whole song, and I almost did, but you know you're good when you can even do it with a broken heart. You know you're good, and I'm good, 'cause I'm miserable, haha, and nobody even knows. Try and come for my job.
Yep.
So Mon Mothma develops into someone who can make tough decisions even when it breaks her heart to do so. Because I would say in the first season she can't make those tough decisions. That's what Luthen is there for, is because she comes in and reams him out for doing Aldhani. And even in season 2, she's just like, oh my gosh, you're about to kill someone that I know and that I brought into this. And she eventually later on is starting to make those harder decisions near the end of the season 2, where she's just like, yep, and then she makes the call to leave the Senate and has to do that. She is miserable while working in the Senate, but continues to look the part. No one suspects the level of treachery that she is involved in. She funded the rebellion to destroy the Empire, and then she walks away knowing she will never see her family again. She walks away from a life of luxury, splendor, and frivolity into a life of strain, frugality, and struggle. She chooses this to make the galaxy a better place based on her morals. No one can come for her job.
No, I would love, I'm sure it's out there. I would love to see an edit of I Can Do It With a Broken Heart over Mon Mothma's dance scene.
Oh, I think that's out there.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's out there.
I'm sure somebody's done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that fits very well. And especially because that's such an iconic moment in the whole show.
Yep.
Very nicely done. My pick, I think it goes along the same veins of like the struggles that Mon Mothma has and the losses she takes, but it is from a more melancholy place.
Sure.
So my pick is from Midnight. I think this is the 3 a.m. edition, but Dear Reader. So this series, specifically this second season, gives us a full view of Mon Mothma. So yes, she is a leader who takes a stand and defies the Empire, which is something really admirable to do. But the series kind of digs into and looks at what did she have to do to get there? What guilt is she left with? It's not a clean and clear path, and it's not always a high road because war and politics is messy. So going through the lyric, Dear Reader, if it feels like a trap, you're already in one. Dear reader, get out your map, pick somewhere, and just run. Dear reader, burn all the files, desert all your past lives, and if you don't recognize yourself, that means you did it right. So Mon goes further than she realizes with the rebellion. She realizes too late how deep in she is with the finances and needs to make difficult choices, like sending her childhood friend to his death. Never take advice from someone who's falling apart. Never take advice from someone who's falling apart. You should find another. Her life is crumbling around her here in this second season, both personally and professionally, and it leaves her unsteady and shaken. So going into the second verse, Dear reader, bend when you can, snap when you have to. Dear reader, you don't have to answer just 'cause they asked you. Dear reader, the greatest of luxuries is your secrets. Dear reader, when you aim at the devil, make sure you don't miss. So this speaks a little bit more to her time in the Senate and speaking out against Emperor Palpatine. She and the rebellion waited, which I equate to bending, until it was the right time, the snap, with the Gorman massacre, and she is allowed, the secrets are gold in the rebellion, and obviously Palpatine is the devil, so make sure you don't miss.
And she doesn't. She calls him the monster.
Yeah.
And she does it all in the Senate after the Gorman massacre. Yeah, fantastic. Wow.
Yes. So I've got two more lines to wrap it all up. So I wander through these nights. I prefer hiding in plain sight, my fourth drink in my hand. So this could reference either the Senate parties that happen all the time on Coruscant or the wedding scene, like you were talking about with your pick. But yeah, she hides in plain sight. And then Taylor closes the song with, you should find another guiding light, but I shine so bright. And the rebellion has made Mon Mothma the face of the operation. You know, she is the leader. And with great power comes great responsibility, but I think there's times, especially here, that we see in the second season that Mon questions, like, how did I get here? Like, what does this mean? And to your point with your pick, like, what did I have to lose? What did I have to give up to get here?
Yeah, she notices the costs after she's paid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
she realizes too late, like, she doesn't have the chance to get out, and I don't know if she would. That's another piece. But she's in it too deep and too late to realize.
Right, it's that processing.
Yeah.
I think they do a really good job of that in the whole, again, season 1 and season 2, where she's like, I didn't get a choice to pay this. I just paid it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can't back out. And it keeps getting deeper versus, I think she would have paid it, like, if she had known this is what I'm going to pay. But, like, it's, again, that's those kind of things where, like, you don't realize you're in a tough situation until, like, 3 or 4 decisions in.
Right. It feels like a trap. You're already in one.
Yep. Wow. Good job. So, question for you. Like,
okay.
This is just an interesting thing, and you could not have thought about this. Who is the reader? Is the reader Mothma, or is Mothma singing the song to other people?
I think Mothma is reading, or, like, this is sung by Mothma, like this is sung by Taylor to other people.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Should we go to our other leader of the rebellion?
So you mean Kleya, right? Because she's the leader.
Let's go to Luthen. He's the other face of the...
He's the face, but Kleya's the real leader.
Yes.
That we find out in season 2.
Yes. All right. Do you want me to go first for Luthen?
Go for it.
Okay. So Luthen, I base my choice for this song off of 2 quotes that he says during the second season about the long fight and losing until we win. So I'm going to give you the quotes, and then I'm going to give you the song.
Okay.
So Luthen says,
we fight to win. That means we lose, and lose, and lose, and lose, until we're ready. All you know now is how much you hate. You bank that, you hide that, you keep it alive until you know what to do with it. And when I tell you to move, you move.
And then the second quote is,
What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
So to me, both of these quotes speak to Taylor's song from Fearless, Change.
Wow. That is not where I thought you were going.
Where did you think I was going?
Reputation.
Oh, I mean, I do love me some Reputation, but no, I didn't think that fit for Luthen.
Okay.
All right, so walking through Change, it's a sad picture. The final blow hits you. You know it's all the same. Another time and place, repeating history, and you're getting sick of it. So pick your loss, pick your battle. This line is all about loss, sacrifice, and imperial restraints. Continuing on in this song, but I believe in whatever you do, and I'll do anything to see it through, because these things will change. This is Luthen's hope, and this is the line that Luthen tells people throughout the series whenever they express doubt, fatigue, or desires to leave. He believes in the work that the rebellion is doing, and he will literally do anything to bring about the sunrise that he will never see. So then we hit the chorus. Can you feel it now? These walls that they put up to hold us back will fall down. It's a revolution. The time will come for us to finally win, and we'll sing hallelujah. Going into the second verse. So we've been outnumbered, raided, and now cornered. It's hard to fight when the fight ain't fair. We're getting stronger now. Find things they never found. They might be bigger, but we're faster and never scared. So this is the growth of the rebellion and how Luthen has worked to build it up over time. Again, kind of going back to the quote of, you take loss after loss after loss until it's time to win. Taylor's song continues, you can walk away, say we don't need this, but there's something in your eyes, says we can beat this because these things will change. Luthen acts to keep so many people in the fight and to bring people into the fight, both out of inspiration and intimidation, which I do have to acknowledge the intimidation part of it, but he keeps people in the fight.
Oh, it's blackmail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like, I'm gonna kill your family if you don't. he does that. He does that.
So then, kind of the bridge in the last chorus, which is Luthen's hope for the future of fighting for that sunrise that he'll never see. Tonight we'll stand, get off our knees, fight for what we've worked for all these years. And the battle was long. It's the fight of our lives, but we'll stand up champions tonight. It was the night things changed. Can you see it now? These walls that they put up to hold us back fell down. It's a revolution. Throw your hands up because we never gave in, and we'll sing hallelujah.
That was an amazing pick. Like, out of left field for me, but wow. That's way better than mine. I think mine's pretty good. I think mine's pretty good, but wow. This is you getting me back for... Oh, this is you getting me back for the last one we did. Would've, could've, should've. Man, I thought I had you, because now I gotta get you again.
Oh, well, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I know Luthen's kind of a gruff character, but to me, especially in those quotes, which stuck out to me from the show, it's all about hope, and that rebellions are built on hope. And this song exudes that hope.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still processing that one. Yeah, because like he seems so gruff, and like that's where I was like, I couldn't. He's so gritty and in the deed of like, I will not see this sunrise. Like I am using the weapons of my enemy, and becoming the monster that they are in order to beat them.
Right.
And then you pick like Fearless, the Fearless album, like that, which is so. Oh wow!
It comes from a very
like
pure place.
A pure place, and like kind of like happy and of like, and so like, and to me, like looking back at Luthen like in the series, like he's not really happy at all. But like that's what he's fighting for. So no, like he is fighting for that change. So no, wow, yeah, I'm processing a lot right now.
That's all right.
That was really amazing.
Thank you. You're
well
making
done.
me feel very, very glowy, bubbly.
Good, because wow. Yeah, okay. Well, with that, maybe you should have gone second.
Yeah, you got to follow that up.
I got to follow that up, and also mine is not as happy. So, the reason I thought you were going with Reputation is I picked Reputation.
Okay, what did you pick?
So my song that I picked is Look What You Made Me Do.
Ah.
And so this is the Empire has created who Luthen is by their own actions against their people.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting off, I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play of the fool. No, I don't like you. Luthen hates their games, how they manipulate the galaxy for power, how they made him participate in a massacre. He must use the tools of his enemy to destroy them, and he must become a monster to destroy a monster. He hates the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't like your perfect crime, how you laugh when you lie. You said the gun was mine. Isn't cool. No, I don't like you. Oh. So Luthen watched as the Empire replaced the Republic in a perfect crime. The Empire continues to laugh at the possibility of a rebellion because they feel they are too powerful. The Empire makes everyone culpable in its massacres so that no one has the moral high ground to rebel. And that is why he has to choose and become a monster, but keep other people pure, like Mon Mothma.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is why both of them are very important, and why he feels that way. If he keeps Mon Mothma pure,
Yep.
but he's down in the trenches. And so a small side tangent, but I'm like, I really feel there's been a lot of debate about Saw and his importance to the rest of the rebellion and stuff like that.
Yep.
And like, I think this series really instigated that like he was a necessary evil. Like he was important to the rebellion. I know they kind of try to, in certain ways, sometimes people be like, well, he was extreme. He was like, and I'm like, he was a monster. I'm not defending that, but like he was similar to Luthen of like, I have to use the tools that they have to defeat them, and I have to become a monster to defeat a monster. I think Luthen was more realistic of like, I am not going to live, and I'm not going to see it. I think Saw was trying to fight so that he could still see it, but anyway, I digress. So, continuing on in the lyrics, but I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I got a list of names, and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. Oh. Luthen was able to leave the Empire, motivated by finding Kleya, and use the tools he learned to take them down. He has the Empire's name in red underline and is taking it down piece by piece. Then, oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you made me do. The Empire made Luthen destroy it through its ruthless actions and fascist beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So he had no choice but to stand up and fight. The world moves on. Another day, another drama, but not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma. And then the world moves on, but one thing's for sure, maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours.
Mm-hmm.
So the galaxy moves on, and as Nemec states, that is the real trick of the Imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. Another day, another atrocity, but Luthen continues to think about karma, how he will get back at the Empire and bring it down. And then as that last line says, maybe I got mine, so maybe he does die, but you'll all get yours. In that he knew this was what was going to happen, is that he was going to die, but that the Empire died with him. And granted, it lasted longer, but he was a pivotal piece of getting making the rebellion aware of the Death Star plans, and that like there was a Death Star, so that like when they hear a pilot of like, oh, he's got plans to this secret station, they're like, oh, we've already heard rumors about this.
So
now
confirmation.
This is confirmation. We need to take this seriously, because that is the thing that people are complaining of. Like it totally eliminates, or like this doesn't make any sense. It didn't help anything. And I'm like, it absolutely does, because if you just hear a random pilot saying he's got a thing, you're like, well, if this is the first anyone's ever heard about it, this makes no sense, and they wouldn't care about it. But it's because Luthen brings that information. They keep going.
No, I had that thought when I first watched it, but no, you have to have those multiple sources. Again, for Bodhi to be believed in Rogue One, you need to plant the seeds. You need to have the rumor, or that started. And honestly, the Death Star is too big of a project for it to go that long unnoticed, especially as they get to the end. of the construction.
Correct, but like also the thing is like Saw doesn't believe Bodhi. That's
too,
the thing
yeah.
that nobody realizes.
he
Like
didn't.
Saw doesn't believe him. He thinks it's a trap. He thinks it's a lie. Like he's like thinks it's a lie. It's only when the rebellion shows up because they have this background information that this exists, and they're like, we will take him seriously because we know that we've heard through outside sources.
Yeah, Cassian knows the sacrifices that were made to
know this.
Yes.
Yeah, and so then I don't trust nobody, and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody, and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. So Luthen has created a persona to mask his true self. He is the Axis, which has become a bad dream for the Empire, and Dedra. And so it actually is what brings down Dedra, is him, and her obsession with him, and because they never thought it was possible. Luthen trusts no one and always looks at how it can be brought back to him and Kleya, and how they keep fighting that. And then the last line, I'm sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Oh, because she's dead. Oh. And so Luthen has killed his former self in order to make his mind a sunless and soulless place to take down the monstrosity that is the Empire.
Yeah, he lost himself to
into, and it was basically back to your quote of like I'm becoming a monster, and
right.
I'm fighting for a sunshine or for a sunrise that I'll never see.
Yeah, when he's talking to Lonnie, what have I sacrificed? I've sacrificed everything.
Everything.
I love that pick, and that tees up really, really well for me for Kleya.
Oh yeah.
Because I picked Look What You Made Me Do
nice.
for Kleya.
Nice.
And so I love it because they are such a duo.
Yeah.
They've been in this fight together for a decade or more.
Oh, many decades.
Years.
We don't know how... No, it has to be like... No, you're right. It does have to be like similar to like a decade or a decade and a half. Because literally the Empire... before New Hope and that kind of stuff lasts only 19 years. So,
yeah.
No, you're right. Yep.
But right, so it's like they've been in this fight for years. I mean, Kleya, when we meet her in the flashback, is, probably 10-ish years old. She's a young girl, not super young, but she's definitely preteen. And, when we see her in Andor, she's somewhere in her 20s. Yeah, so I think that tees up really well because the Empire made both Luthen and Kleya do all of this stuff.
Yep.
So I'll just jump right in.
Sounds great.
So like Luthen, Kleya will do anything and everything to take down the Empire. This song is mainly directed at the Empire, but in a way I think it's also directed at Luthen because of what he makes her do for the cause.
Okay.
The Empire does things that make Kleya revolt, and do morally questionable things. They make her play the game. Luthen turned Kleya vengeful due to his part in massacring her family when he was an Imperial officer. And then he set her up to do the dirty work in the fight. He puts on the wigs and goes to the party and masquerades. And we see the one scene where they go to this party and Kleya literally bleeds to try to take this bug off. She's doing the dirty work while he is gallivanting and putting on the facade. This song is also just badass, and I think that fits Kleya too. I love Kleya. So kind of hitting the highlights, because you went through the whole song, but how I think it fits Kleya. I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play. Kleya is taking on personas for Luthen and takes on a lot of the burden and responsibility, keeping all of the plates spinning. She says the line just as much. And then she plays chess with the Empire to make progress for the rebellion. Into the pre-chorus and the chorus. But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. Kleya caught on young that she needs to be alert and to act. She escaped the massacre on her home world because of her quick thinking and alertness. And I think that she does die a little bit with each failed mission and each atrocity that the Empire carries out, because she pours her heart and soul into the rebellion. As she tells Val, I don't have sometimes, I have always. She has always given and sacrificed herself. So she grieves the atrocity, the massacre of the day, and then she rises up from the dead and continues on.
Wow, yeah.
I've got a list of names, and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. look what you made me do. She has a mentalist in this 3D chess game that is the rebellion, and she keeps numbers, names, and receipts. Then she executes. Hitting the bridge, the world moves on another day, another drama, but not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma. It's so hard not to sing. And then the world moves on, but one thing's for sure. Maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours. Kleya keeps score of the Empire's atrocities, and she will act on them. She watched her family die. She watched the people being killed in the firing squad in the flashback. She watches rebel agents being taken down in the field, and Kleya takes me as a person who does not forget. She remembers this. To me, this line, maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours, maybe a little bit of her feelings towards pulling the plug on Luthen's life support at the end of the series. Luthen, quote unquote, got his for being part of the Imperial machine in the first place. Yes, he, moved on or like, I wouldn't say moved on, but like he tried to rectify those actions. But part of me is like, Kleya has the receipts. Luthen was part of the massacre that killed her family and that destroyed her home world. And I don't think she ever forgot that.
I would agree. I think they have they definitely have a challenging relationship. I don't think it is anywhere near of like the love of each other. They're again using each other as tools. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think it's. I mean, you're probably right. No, as I was thinking, you're probably right. Of like, he got his from being the Imperial, but to me, it's also of like he got his of like, as he self-admitted, I am a monster. True, I made myself a monster. So that is him getting his of like, nope, I made myself a monster. And that's what he expected of her. Of like he much would have. I'm sure he rather it was her than surviving and giving anything away to the Empire. So like. That's where it's like I don't think there was any. It's hard for her because she's like I know I have to do this. You've been in my life for so long. You become similar to a father figure, but not a father because, as you say, like he was part of that massacre and has made her into, as you say, like I was going to contest that, but I think you're actually right. Like he has made her into who she is, and he has made her do these things. Granted, she chose to join, so that's where I was gonna push back on that. But I think I do think you're right, and I was wrong. Of like that, yeah, she chose to do it, and we see that scene in Naboo where she's like, nope, I'm gonna choose to
yeah, she detonates the bomb.
She wants to. He does it, but he's again trying to kind of sort of continue to protect her, but wants to make sure that she knows the cost. And so, but yeah, no, great pick.
I have 2 more lines to wrap it up here. I don't trust nobody, and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. She doesn't trust anybody, even though I think people do trust her as Luthen's shop assistant. And the actress in the bad dreams line makes me think so much of her breaking into the hospital to kill Luthen. The Empire's like, this is a 3-person job, and then they review the footage to see one lone woman bringing chaos.
Yes.
So that's that one line. And then, I'm sorry, the old tailor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. Kleya is not the same after meeting Luthen, and she's not the same when she is evacuated to Yavin. When we leave her at the end of Andor, she's at the start of a new chapter in her life. And so I think, she'll rise up from the dead. She does it all the time. But it marks a change in her because she and Luthen were attached at the hip, for years, being the seed and being Axis. And now that's gone and the rebellion has shifted and has become something bigger. Kleya will need to find her place in that.
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you. No, I love that we both picked the same song for this duo because I think it fits both of them so well.
It does. You're right. I also do love that mentality because that's the mentality I brought for Kleya as well.
Ooh, yes, please.
But I chose off of Midnight's Vigilante.
Yes.
So yeah,
okay.
I will go through mine. But yeah, it says a lot of the same beats. But draw the cat eye, sharp enough to kill a man. You did some bad things, but I'm the worst of them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wonder which one will be your last lie. They say looks can kill, and I might try.
Yep.
I don't dress for women. I don't dress for men. Lately, I've been dressing for revenge. Kleya hates the Empire. She is fierce in all of her outfits as well.
She has a great wardrobe.
Great wardrobe. She knows that the Empire has done some truly heinous things, but creating her was the worst because she eventually leads to its downfall.
Yeah, she becomes part of
She
Axis.
becomes part, and so they slaughtered her people and her family. It was their worst decision they ever made because she makes it her life mission to bring down the Empire. And with her slaying every outfit, she is simply dressing for revenge.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Thank you.
And then also, of like going in and slaying the outfit of the nurse and goes in and kills so many people. And they're all like, it's a three-man team, as you said. And it's like, it's just one girl, one woman.
The bringer of chaos.
And they can't process that because they're like, what? One person and it's a girl? And because we know misogyny is still in the Empire throughout because Dedra's fighting against it and all that stuff. So that. Then continuing, don't start it, but I can tell you how it ends. Don't get sad, get even. So on the weekends, I don't dress for friends. Lately, I've been dressing for revenge. She didn't start her war on the Empire. They did with the murder of her people, but she will stop at nothing to bring it down and to tell you how it ends. We see in Season 2, Episode 10, that she is frightened, but never sad. She watches as the Resistance fighters are executed on her home planet so that she can feel the pain. She will use it to get even. And as usual, she slays every outfit. I do bring that up a lot because her outfits are amazing.
Thank you. No, I need that. My soul needs that.
And so then, ladies always rise above. Ladies know what people want. Someone sweet and kind and fun. The ladies simply had enough.
Yeah.
The reason she is able to get away with much of her rebellion is because the Empire doesn't value her. The Empire is an extension of misogyny and the patriarchy. She used that to her advantage and played the part as the second hand to Luthen. While it looked like she was the second in Season 1, we learn much more in Season 2 that it is actually Kleya who is running the show behind the scenes.
Yes.
And then while he was doing lines and crossing all of mine, someone told his white-collar crimes to the FBI, and I don't dress for villains or for innocents. I'm on my vigilante shit again. And so while the Empire slept and continued to think that they were above everything and crossing all of the lines of murder, massacres, everything, she kept fighting. And she was behind the scenes and taking notes, as you were saying, taking names, and then ready to act. And then similar to, I think, my piece here that I don't dress for villains or for innocents.
No.
So she's not an innocent. She does make choices that cause death. And similar to when Luthen tells her, like, we're going to lose. And we lose, and we lose, and we lose, and we lose, and we lose until we win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she learns that from. Of she has to decide, all right, people are going to die, and innocent people are going to die. And so she and Luthen kind of take the mentality of the Gorman massacre, and we realize that basically they don't set it up, they don't force the Empire to do it, but they're like, we know what's going to happen, and because the Empire is the monster, and if we put the right things in position, it will make it go faster. And that's why, and they make that choice. And Luthen makes the statement, and she's, I'm sure, absolutely behind him, of like, Gorman will burn, and he says, well, it will burn brightly so that everyone can see it.
Right. It needs to be the catalyst for Mon's speech, right? It's all part of the larger goal, the larger game.
Right. And as we learned in Season 2, like, she's the brains. She has a lot of, she's all the plates. She's always, as you said, like, she's the one doing those things. And as you said, also, she's the one with the dirt on her hands, of like, she's doing all the things while Luthen runs around and is the face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it also, but it works out for them because Dedra's looking for Axis, and Axis is Luthen, and so she's ignoring Kleya.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kleya is able to, again, float underneath the surface.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that song, and I love that you gave it to Kleya because it's like putting two of my favorite things together.
Yep.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
So, yeah, this has been such a fun discussion.
Yes.
And such a, that change.
You're still thinking about
I'm
that
still
one.
thinking about that one because it is just, because every other one, like, makes sense in my brain. And then this one does, like, that one does, but it's so jarringly different from what I expect of Luthen. So that's just where I've, like, it's so good, but so different. So yeah, no, I'm still stuck on that.
Well,
it's so good.
We will leave you to your processing of that.
Thank you, yeah.
Listeners, please tell us what you thought of our picks for these 5 very important people in the Cassian Andor series. Or, tell us your own picks. Who are your favorite characters from Andor? What songs would you pick for them in the Further Rebellion? How do you like this bonus episode? We would love to hear any and all thoughts you have.
And how do you think we're doing as a podcast?
Yeah.
It's been a year. Is there anything any character in particular you want to hear next? We have Rey is going to be our next season 3,
right,
but nothing else is set in stone. So if you want to let us know through email, you can send us an email at thesandhurtsmyfeelingspod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. You comment on any of the episodes or send us a DM at sandhurtsmyfeelingspod. We're on Facebook. Blue Sky is Sandy Feelings. Yeah, follow us on any of our podcasting, wherever you listen. Respond if I'm on Spotify. Respond to the posts. Which songs did you like the best and which picks? Respond to the poll. For sure, please get the word out. Leave us a rating or review. Let us know how we're doing. It's a tough time out there right now. Andor is very, very necessary and very unfortunately, but everybody stay safe. Make good choices. Make educated risks, and we care about all of you and want the world to be a better place. So
and remember, rebellions are built on hope.
Exactly. May the Force be with you.
Forever and always.
May the Force be with you.
Forever and always.